And we are live, as every day we are, here in the Worldprofit online facility, the Live Business Center, emanating today from Cambridge, Massachusetts, the capital city of the Internet. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. Well, we have such a program for you today. We've been doing this program now longer than any other live broadcast on the Internet, bar none. Our focus is on your prosperity. But today I decided that you folks needed to be pepped up. Or maybe it was I that needed to be pepped up, as you'll see why in a minute. Here with Tanya Vick. She's going to add an element of luster and beauty to the air, as well as high level of commentary to the proceedings. Good afternoon, Tanya. Welcome aboard and glad to have you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Lane. It's my pleasure to be here today. I would like to invite everyone to stick together with us and see what we have here. It's so good to everyone.
Now, one of the things we have for everyone is a $20,000 plus gift package of bonuses for success on the Internet. And folks, for you folks particularly looking in the window up there, it's over 70 of you right now in the in-studio audience. We have two audiences, by the way, the in-studios who come from all over the world and gather here, and those who hear us on YouTube and whatever, as they have for so many years. The bottom line is that ultimately, over time, thousands of people will listen to this, and we want you to know that we have an offer for you that is spectacular. But first, we're going to read you the offer. It comes in 6 parts. We're also going to give you a very special essay that I've written. It seemed to me that, as some of you folks might understand, this is the 5th day of Harvard commencement today, the 5th and final day, 5 days of commencing. Boy, everyone was commenced till they're leaving Cambridge with pockets empty, which is the whole point of having them to Cambridge in the first place, so that we get the money and they get the pride of being here. That's the way alumni associations work. So Tanya, this festive period ends with all the old graduates being invited out to the country club in Brookline, Mass, where they spend a luxurious day being fleeced by alumni officers, which is the job of the alumni office, to make sure that all those dollars stay here in Cambridge. But you're pretty tired by the end of the week, and I've noticed that people are kind of drooping. I'm certainly drooping after a week of this. Yesterday was my 44th anniversary of my first Harvard degree. I'm getting into that category called long in the tooth. And when you are long in the tooth, you need a day at the end to just, hopefully, crash and have the martinis delivered to you and perhaps served by beautiful young Windsor characters. Anyway, I don't know about that. But we definitely wanted to bring you in at the end of the Harvard commencement and play some tunes and give you an essence. It's going to pep you up. The whole essence of why we're doing a program on fanfares and marches and the beautiful works of enunciation that principally are monarchical, but they also exist in the United States. When the president comes out, da-da-da-da, the hail to the chief, the ruffles and flourishes, that's a fanfare. So you're going to wonder why we're doing this. Well, it so happens that I'm writing a book now. My 20th book is about my art collection, and I have selected, from time to time in the essay, musical interludes that go with a picture to give it more impact. And so Tanya has very graciously read to us this morning where I am so far in this project. I've done about 8,000 words. It's coming along very nicely. But I thought I'd sort of take out some of the particular pieces and talk about them today, because and you're going to soon see the method to my madness. We teach people how to do video marketing, and video marketing needs music, just as it does on television. Have you noticed, Tanya, that every program has some kind of music attached to it? There probably is no program, I don't care whatever it's in, where there isn't some kind of music attached to it. Certainly for films, music is de rigueur. So why don't you say a greeting or whatever to the folks? You read the initial article, so you can talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to segue into focusing on one of the important composers, Sir William Walton. And then we're going to make them an offer, and then we're going to get some particular messages out there. We have a lot to do in this hour, in other words, so stay with us. We're here every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the Live Business Center at Worldprofit, www.worldprofit.com. If you miss any part of this, no problem. Come back the next day. We're always here on time, and we're absolutely full of joy Joy to the world, although we are a little tired-eyed because I looked at myself in the mirror this morning and I felt like every one of those 44 years of anniversary was stamped on my face. What do you want to say to the folks about the essay before we dig right into it?
Well, Dr. Lant has this gift, not just to writing and make us part of the story or whatever he is talking about, but regarding to music, like you said, it is fantastic. I don't know if people can remember a movie that watched 20 years ago by listening to the music. And the music is so important. Yeah, music is so important. And today, for me, was a beautiful day when I was reading your say. It's not
read it so well. And by the way, I might as well put in a plug for it right now. This book that I'm writing, my 20th book, is going to be free to everyone in the world. So for those of you that like free stuff, you like good stuff that's free, this book is going to be free to it. It'll be about 25,000 words when it's finished. That's a substantial length. And it is an eye-popping, ear-popping variety. I'm going to start by reading an article, and then we're going to segue into our special offer. And the reason I've chosen Sir William Walton is we all, every one of us, has participated in some way in one of the Windsor pageants, whether it's the Queen's anniversary or the birthday or the trooping of the colour, or she's on going to Ireland and the national anthem, whatever it is. We've all participated in something having to do with the Windsors. They're very clever in that regard. Probably the most well-known people on the earth. They have a built-in audience of hundreds of millions of people. And I wanted to investigate, some of you know that I've written a book on the English monarchy. I wanted to investigate something that has not been investigated, the Windsor sound. Did you know that monarchies have a sound? No, you didn't, because no one told you. And the music fits so effortlessly with the pictures that you don't even know what's going on. Well, I thought that was outrageous. I am an academic with a PhD from Harvard. I'm going to unravel the secrets of Sir William Walton, who wrote the music for what I call the Windsor sound. And the reason I'm specializing in sound is because I offer a class here at Worldprofit, and it's free to all members. Imagine that. That gets you into all the different aspects of success on video, and that must include sound. No one can have a program on the internet with just the human voice. Human voice is wonderful, the most important instrument that there is, but we need help. So for those of you that are thinking, how does this all fit together? It fits together because in my class, which is free to members, every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, here in this space, we go into the ins and outs of every aspect of video marketing that you can imagine, including sound. So you see, there is a method to my madness after all. And I'm going to read you this. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of Sir William Walton's most famous compositions, and you all, and the thing is, you probably all heard it, you didn't think about it. And I felt, oh, old Sir William needs some help, and here I am. What the American forces said in World War I, Lafayette, we are here. Now, I want you to all listen to this. It's called the March Imperial. And then I'm going to describe it, but you'll already know, your body will already tell you it's in your brain, about to go into your brain right this minute, like Novocaine. There we are. Now listen to this, everyone. And I'm going to begin to read to you now over the music, which is perfectly appropriate. It's done on many, many television shows. Sir William Walton and the Sound of Royalty. I wrote this article May 13th, 2011, and I thought with my new book in progress, it was appropriate to dust it off. To get the most from this article, you will need to listen to 3 royal fanfares by Sir William Walton, the individual most responsible for the distinctive, rich, soaring sound that epitomizes, defines, and glorifies the Windsor dynasty. These fanfares include what you're listening to right now, the crown, and it goes up and up, and oh, it's so regal, so imperial. The Crown Imperial March. Number 2, the incidental music for Sir Olivier's 1944 production of Henry V. Number 3, the Orb and Scepter March. You will find them in any search engine. Image, Miss Tinyvick, is everything. Consider the singular problem of royalty, especially the most important royalty, sovereign emperors, kings, queens, and queen consorts. They do not like us too close to their overpowering presence, but they certainly want to put their stamp on us and leave an indelible impression of grandeur, awe, majesty. Towards this end, everything their subjects will see and be able to be influenced and impressed by is subjected to the most intense scrutiny and consideration. Everything must serve the greater end of the dynasty, the end being just how they are perceived by their subjects, so that the dynasty with its mountain of anachronistic privileges is preserved, protected, and defended, the better to ensure that near immortals remain long to reign over us. Amongst the most important aspects of how royalty presents itself to you, so that they may rise higher and you make the necessary and heartfelt obeisance, is the music used to suit their never-ending purpose, the music that dazzles the ear, at the same time their clothes, jewels, uniforms, decorations, and all the other accoutrements dazzle the eye. Of these subjects, the things that to capture the eye are by far more discussed than the music that accompanies royalty upon every significant occasion of their lives. At the April 2011 marriage of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the major coverage went to two particular issues, the bride's gown and the two kisses the newly married couple made from the balcony of Buckingham Palace. By comparison, a tiny percentage of mention went to the carefully chosen music, including Sir William Walton's celebrated Crown Imperial March, which I put up for you on the screen. Yes, here is where you heard that stirring fanfare first, although as it surrounded their Royal Highnesses, wafting them forward on a cloud of acoustic incense, you were paying attention to how the bride and groom looked and how they carried themselves leaving Westminster Abbey. The music was definitely secondary. You knew the tableau and its moving figures were perfect. You hardly gave a thought to the essential contribution of the fanfare, much less of Sir William Walton, its composer. Thus the music does its essential work, moving you, influencing you, directing you where the dynasty wants your thoughts to be at that moment. About Sir William Walton, March 1902 to March 1983. Walton was born into a musical family in Oldham, Lancashire. At age 16, he became an undergraduate at prestigious Christ Church at Oxford University. It was said at the time that he was the youngest undergraduate since King Henry VIII. His musical talents were quickly recognized and encouraged, particularly by the eccentric, talented, well-placed Sitwell family, Sir Sacheverell, and his distinctly odd sister, Edith. He lived with them for many years while they finished their eager protégé for the world. With Edith providing the lyrics, Walton composed the music for his first great success, Facade, in 1923. It establishes him as a member of the musical avant-garde, but this designation, so pleasing to a young man with a way to make, proved short-lived and erroneous. Walton's strengths, and they were considerable, were not in inventing new forms, living on the cutting edge. No, indeed, he was no innovator. He was a traditionalist producing the incidental music for two great institutions, the British monarchy and Britain's cinema. Such a role provided his numerous critics with what they needed to write him off as a serious composer, and they made Walton wince despite his celebrity and worldwide renown. It is often thus with those who are gifted in ways other than they planned or wanted. The coronation of 1937. Walton was a painfully slow, plodding composer. Composition came neither fluently nor with celerity. His works were relatively few, with long gaps in between. Nonetheless, despite the nagging criticism of modernists who saw Walton as a renegade, his progress was inexorable. In due course, he came to the notice of the British royal family, which took serious note of the Walton sound, soon to be the Windsor sound. Exalted, elevated, often electrifying. The Windsors, having congratulated themselves on surviving the First World War, unlike all three imperial dynasties of Russia, Austria, and Germany, soon had need of these very traits. The abdication of Edward VIII and the scandal which shook the monarchy to its foundation made them desperate to reassure the nation of their worthiness. And so Walton got the call of a lifetime, being asked to provide the entree music for Queen Mary, George V's regal consort, the pillar of the dynasty. Queen's Dowager didn't attend coronations, but Queen Mary knew her presence would reassure the nation, and she wanted something dazzling to confirm her undeniable royalty. Walton gave her and the world his Crown Imperial March of 1937. The Windsors knew at once they had the sound they and their challenged empire needed, and the man who could produce it for them. It was a great gift in one of the worst years in British royal history, and they took Walton to their hearts as he, like his music, soared. Henry V and Queen Elizabeth II's 1953 coronation. Walton was now the go-to man, and when you wanted music that made showy outward display carried by the imperative commands of trumpets, Walton's music made you sit up, take notice, and transcend yourself and your little cares. It was bombastic, a shade vulgar, but packed with the vitality and the testosterone the dynasty and the nation needed. Of his many compositions exhibiting these grandiose traits, two more deserve mention. A film score for Sir Olivier's 1944 production of Hamlet's Henry V, Walton's Orb and Scepter March for the 1953 coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Walton, in his way, was as much a pillar of the monarchy and Britain herself as Queen Mary. He lifted the people up when they needed it, World War II, and when a wounded nation faced a post-war austerity. His music showed you why this band of brothers in Henry V was victorious despite great odds against them, and why the Phoenix of England would rise again at the coronation of a new young sovereign. It is no wonder a grateful monarch gave him knightly honors and the most prestigious order of merit. Thus was recognized and rewarded the grandeur of Sir William Walton, who made the dynasty itself and all its princes grander still. What I wanted to say this moment before I kind of comment, I want to say this shade to the ghost of Sir William Walton. Sir William, from one artist to another, I admire his work so incredibly, and the task that he had to perform. Tanya, what have you ever heard of royal music? You probably know. Who does? You're there, you're looking at bride and the waves and the uniforms and it's the sun and day and the flyover and there's the queen beaming, but no one ever says the word, the music, except just to give the name of it. That's it.
Never heard. No.
But now I think I put royal ears on you. I have royal ears on myself. One of my favorite Sir William Walton pieces is his fanfare to Hamlet. And I was mulling over the clues we got today, but I chose Henry V instead. The Walton sound, it makes you feel bigger than you are. It makes you feel some part of something that's bigger than we are. It makes it all seem somehow or other. He had the ability to portray heart. You feel like a man who knows how to uplift us. And all the tawdry little cares and all the schemes and the conspiracies and all that, all gone. You just feel this clean. It's a very clean set, which is kind of interesting that he was originally started off his life as avant-garde, but very quickly came to be really a true revolutionary. What was so aggravating to the other musicians was how successful he was. It wasn't that they didn't like his music. They didn't like him getting the Order of Merit with the highest honor and the gift of the sovereign. They didn't like him being on all the cinemas in the West End of London, music by Sir William Walton. They didn't like him having that. He was so tied in. Now, before I turn it over to Tony for I'll tell you one more thing about him. During World War II, Winston Churchill, of all people, who was the Prime Minister, came up with the bright idea of going back to the Shakespeare plays, the great plays of Henry V, Richard III, Hamlet, and so on, and turning them into propaganda pieces. In other words, we didn't have any bombs, but we were going to throw Hamlet at them. I think it's a very quaint idea, and it worked because you had Laurence Olivier as your male lead, and people like Sir John Gielgud, who was a master for Shakespeare, and you had Alexander Korda, who was there chief or producer. And then you had Sir William Walton. I mean, you had the best people. But it was the idea that was crazy. How are we going to defeat the Nazis with Hamlet? I don't know if it worked. I certainly hope that it did. I'm totally in favor of dropping copies of Hamlet in Germany during war. Would be think some academic would have thought of. Tanya, what do you think about that, though? About what we've been talking about, the need for a sound, and did you feel better when didn't you feel like that you felt your blood surging through your veins?
That's right. That's right. I don't understand how people can be depressed in a rainy day when you have music. You know, it just puts you up and make you so alive. You want to do things. Music for me is the core. I work with music, so I like when you comment about music because people is missing. They are missing.
Well, one of the things that I'm doing in my essay on my art collection is that I've been scouting out particular fanfares. I've been listening to French fanfare. I've been listening to things that go back to the 14th century right up to the present day to find just the right sound for the individual portion that I'm writing. There's kind of a joke in my family. In 1947, when I was born, there was a very popular film called Conquista, the Captain from Castile with Tyrone Power. And Alfred Newman, who was a major Hollywood music writer, score writer, wrote the music to called Conquista. And it's that, and it's the sound. And my mother's kind of laughing and told me once, she said, that was playing on the intercom in the hospital when you were born. Of course, that was a lie. But anyway, it was a great story. That could possibly, this accounts for everything. So mothers, if you play a fanfare, a proper one when children are being born, apparently they'll grow up to be rich and famous. Anyway, it's my mother's theory. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to segue on, if you allow us to. We're going to segue on and we're going to have you read the offer. We have a $20,000 offer for everyone, and we want everyone to know a couple of things about Worldprofit and about this offer. First of all, we've been here for over 20 years in this place, in this exact place, doing what we're doing today, helping people like Dante make money on the internet. Now, over the course of this 20 years, people that did not listen to us, now listen to this, made no money, had terrible problems with scamsters, with programs that didn't work, investing their money, whatever. So this has been going on for 20 years. And Dante, if you'll speak to me, and if you will tell me how long you've been in the market for business for the internet that works, I would appreciate it. Now, Dante is one of the millions of people. Well, it's Dante. Okay. Dante, here's the story. I'm going to ask you, how long have you been trying to make money on the internet? And have you had any help, and have you had any success? And we have a room full of people in a whole wide world beyond them who want to know. We're going to use you as our sort of sounding board for the next few minutes. I've been marketing about 10 years and 1 year here. So, in other words, over the course of 10 years of doing it, you've had 1 year that was successful. Is that what you're telling us? So in other words, 9 years, 90% of the time was wasted. That's what you're telling us. Okay, now, how do you feel about a company? And Tanya, I want you to flip in on this. I'll give Tanya. Tanya, why don't you give Dante the first reason for joining us? Then we're going to give Dante the complete offer.
Well, in my case, I came up to Worldprofit because I had a business online that was taking everything I had financially, and I didn't know how to promote. So I got here and I saw that the program, the teaching program is fantastic. So I plug it in there. Everything that I know right now, 5 years later, I learned here. And I tell you, for me, Worldprofit is the way to go. And I think that everybody that is looking around, folks, you need to come here. All you need is right here in this place. So I don't go anywhere. I'm going to stick around, going to be here as long as I can. And for all of you that are looking for internet success, you need to know what to do and how to do it. And that's what we do here in Worldprofit. With all the help, 24/7 all year round, all the gizmos, all the softwares, everything you need to be upgraded on the internet is right here.
Okay, now I have a whole bunch of things to say. First of all, I forgot to tell you folks that the essay that I read to you on Sir William Walton is one of over 1,000 that I've written in the last almost 4 years. And it's there, we show you how to use them as ebooks and what have you. So when you come in here, all your content problems are solved. Either I've written it, or my colleagues George Tosh, the Chief Technical Officer, or Sandy Hunter, our President, the longest-serving female president of any internet company in the world. We write. We're all three very gifted writers. And the plain fact of the matter is that we don't need to write hardly a word. And we'll give you all that. That's part of the deal as well. Now, and Leo Watson, while I'm thinking about it, if you can, I'd like you to stick around after the program because you have a lesson coming up. And if I'm going to be up here, I'm going to be up here with you, Leo. And Dante, are you ready to join us? Because if you are, Tanya is going to read you the offer. It's in 6 parts. I think it'll blow you away. Because if you've been failing for 9 out of 10 years, then it's time to change that. Wouldn't you say? You give us the signal that you want to hear this offer, and we're going to read it to you. And Dante, this is not the moment to sit up there and say nothing. All right. Tanya, go ahead and read the offer, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I would like to welcome Ernest Malinga. Ernest, you need to watch the video. You need to know what this all about. Return here when you finish. I'll have the best offer in the internet for you. All right? So this offer is very extensive. It's made in parts. And here's the first part of this awesome offer. So you watch the video. That's fantastic. So you already know about the awesome offer that was made for you in the video. And if you place your order in the next 15 minutes, you are going to receive the $6,500 bonus offer that was made for you in the video. And you are going to get $400 a month of cutting-edge success materials, all with resale rights. All the materials you receive from us is yours to keep. This alone is worth thousands of dollars. You get total success training in home business bootcamp. Also 75 monitors like me. We're going to start closing sales for you today without ever charging you anything. You also get $800 worth of crucial business and wealth building software. Again, all with resale rights. You also get Worldprofit unique ClickBank promo kit, enabling you to make at least $1,000 a month without spending a single penny. You also get, and if you accept this awesome offer in the next 2 minutes, you are going to get 10 associate members who will generate commissions for you. If you are ready, you can go to the Ready Order Now button, go for option number 1, or you can click the blue link that I just posted for you on the screen to order. This offer is made for you once and once only, but wait, I have more coming your way. There we go. You place your order within 5 minutes, you are going to get the 50,000 additional money-making credits, which includes 10,000 additional guaranteed visitors to the site of your choice from Traffic Center, and 20,000 credits from our popular Safe List Extreme Analysis system. Don't you get also absolutely free our newest traffic generator marvel, which is the automatic SEO promo bot kit with a retail value of $450. This bot's fantastic, help you get guaranteed #1 position on Google, Yahoo, Bing, and so on. Also promotes your URL to over 3,000 backlink sites with just a few clicks. Allows you to post your message on over 70 safe list and top traffic exchanges. We are going to include also a gift to you, which is the SEO Power Pack or 23 software program worth over $1,000. But hold on, I have more coming. There it is. If you get your silver package now, you are getting over 1,000 original articles for your blog by master writer and marketer Dr. Jeff Lant. You can see the complete collection jefflantarticles.com. Active dealers like me, we use those articles to generate thousands of responses in 15 minutes or so every single day. You're also going to get our brand new software by master inventor George Tosh, which enables you to create hundreds of ebooks in about 3 minutes per book. So Dante's spectacular offer is made for you once and once only. Accept now. Click on the red Order Now button or the blue link I posted to order. And if you order in the next 15 minutes, you can add this to your 12,000 bonus package. Create, customize, and produce video articles almost as fast as you can read this sentence. And there is something new. If you order within the next 7 minutes, we are going to include the easy-to-use software. You need to give away unlimited free advertising to any or to all of your customers, whatever you are selling. It is Stack Wizard George Gosh's latest invention, and you are going to get this to every day. It's a daily thing to get your customers to act, to respond, and of course to buy from you. It has a retail value of $1,995. We are going to include in your packages free, and this is Worldprofit exclusive. But here comes the last part of this awesome offer. Video marketing. Video marketing is the hottest thing right now in the net. Have you been to YouTube lately? Now you can stay home and profit if you know how to do it. So international now marketer Dr. Jeff Lant, Worldprofit CEO and Co-founder, going to show you exactly how to use video marketing to sell anything. So don't order in the 7 minutes and get his incredible video marketing course free. This is a 10,000 value. That's what any university would charge for a 2-day workshop. But this is ongoing training. The course is unique. It doesn't exist anywhere. You can get it right now. Plus, we are going to include Dr. Jeff Lynn 19th book, Net Profit. There is a link for you to check it out in Amazon.com. Going to be yours free, included in your package. And this is $29.95 value, and going to be yours as a bonus. You can use it to generate thousands of leads with one click. Just click on the red Order Now at once. But don't, if you look up on this page, you are going to see also we are including 3 months free or 700,000 submissions. Right? Dr. Lane, do you have anything else to add to Dante?
I do. If Dante's order is in within the next 7 minutes, I'm going to give him 100 customers from my personal list, taking them off my list this afternoon, putting them on his list this afternoon. Dante, did you hear what I said? In addition to everything the time read to you, including the 700,000 SEO submissions, you're going to get 100 customers from me. But you've got to do it in 7 minutes. The time is going to count down the minutes. We're starting right now, declaring 7 minutes as the expiration of this offer. Dante, are you going to accept our offer? You ready to take advantage of it? It's a one-time only offer. Can only be made once to you. If you turn it down for any reason, you don't make it again, you need to click on the bright red box that says Order Now. You want option 1, the monthly option. And you know, based on 10 years of internet access, that you are confronting an offer of grandeur and importance. Dante, on behalf of this community, I'm inviting you to join us. Are you going to accept our invitation? And for the people that are looking in the window, this means you too. We have the same package for all of you. But you must, now it's 6 minutes now, you must respond now. Very simple. Now, Dante, I thought you'd be jumping all over this offer. What's the issue? Why aren't you? You know and I know that you need the help. And plus all the accoutrements, we've got them, and you're sitting there and doing nothing. Well, that doesn't seem logical to me, but if it seems logical to you, you better best get in touch with PayPal then. Here is the PayPal link. Now, would you mind clicking the Send D8? There we go. You still have just 5 minutes, Dante, so you can lose this very easily.
May I say something, Dr. Lane? Don't, if you go through the order form, when you choose PayPal as your payment of choice, you log in, you're going to see in the page the description of your purchase. If you have a choice for bill me later, it's going to show right there on the side of the funds. It's going to be more easy for you. You just need to go through the order now button, the red button.
Now, while Dante is doing that, I'm going to address some comments to Leo Watson. Leo, I've seen your memos, and by the way, Leo, your line length is 3 times the length it should be. When you go a line like it starts here and 3 feet later it ends up over here, is very difficult for the human eye, and I believe that I have a human eye and not opposed to one from a bat or something. But the bottom line is this, Leo, do you understand what I'm saying? Cut it short. Look at, first of all, are you there? Am I speaking to the wall or wall speaking to me? Leo Watson, are you there? And Dante, just keep us abreast of that development. Okay, so Leo, I'm going to do a very, very fast lesson. You see how the line length here starts at the word Leo and goes all the way across that line? That's too long. You want to cut it roughly in half. Particularly when you're sending a memorandum. Now, you've been up now a minimum of what, 3 or 4 times, yes? How many times have you been up? 4. If I'm not mistaken, the hour after this one is taken, yes? How many is open? Tanya, do you know? I'm taking it with Leo.
Yes,
Leo?
Yeah.
Leo, it's you and me, baby. You're up for an hour? Okay, what I'm going to do then, Patrice, is I'm going to take the first half hour with Leo. Give you the second half hour. Is that all right? Because he hasn't yet had the inexorable pleasure, the exquisite delight of being up with me. I don't want to deprive him of it. And there is 3 hours. Oh, then there's 3 hours open. Ah, I see.
You're open. Yeah.
Well, can you do this, Patrice? Can you give me Leo for the next hour and you take the next hour after that? And then LG says she'll help to take one too. So if I stay up for the next hour with Leo, and then Patrice comes up, and then Linda comes up, we'll only have 60 minutes. And I'm sure we can find some person on the street to drag. And may I say, people, I have to say this because people say, oh, the traffic's on. Consider the matter of the New England winter, which all of you like to look at, and you know, you like to sing Christmas carols, and you know, remember Bing Crosby and Rose. Listen, the reality is different. See, she combed her hair, and I took a bath. We're cooking with gas here. Outside this window, in a winter's day, it's very miserable. New England winters are notoriously bad. I don't blame anyone for going outside today and playing in the park. We've been trapped in our houses for, you know, when did the winter weather end? 3 weeks ago? I mean, we have a saying in New England that says we paid for this day. In other words, if we had a bad week of winter weather, we suffered. You know, you have to really be a Puritan, and we are. And I'm speaking to you, by the way, right across the street from where the Pilgrims set up shop in Cambridge. It was called Newtown in those days. They believed that if they put in so many hours of hell, they could get so many hours of heaven. Well, I think it's a reasonable thing. So if they're out playing today, more power to them, I say. We'll be winter here in a couple of weeks. Okay, so we have that all. Now, Dante, your time has expired.
Yeah, she was denied, so can we give an extension? What you would like to do?
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Dante, where do you live? What town do you live in? I'm going to give you a solution. If you work with me, it's going to work. If you won't work with me, it's going to flame out. Where do you live? Dante, we're longing to know where you live. If you don't talk to me, I can't help you much. Folks, Dante needs to know that I am the decision maker par excellence in these parts, and if Dante sits there and doesn't communicate with me, Dante's going to get nothing. But what Dante has gotten for the last 10 years, which is 90% failure rate.
Just let us know, Dante.
2 minutes for you, Dante.
Which state, which city.
And 2 minutes I'm going to give you, Dante. If you don't respond, the deal goes off, and you're on your own. Tanya, I can't figure out. I mean, I'm a guy that lives with support teams. And I'm going to enumerate some. I got my Haitian support team from Mr. and Mrs. Joseph who take care of me. You know, I got to tell you this. I live in a marvelous life. The other day I was laying around being, lazy as hell. And I called Mr. Joseph and I said, can you come over and cook a steak for me? I mean, how many people in the world have a support team where they've got béarnaise sauce and the steak? I mean, it doesn't exist. I have my health teams, my financial teams, my travel teams, my monitor teams, my partners at Worldprofit. I am a guy that lives by teams. People who I have very carefully, I didn't even mention the Simon Gillespie's and Simon McVitie's, all those people in that world. I am a person that lives because of support. Dante doesn't have any support. And it's not going to have either. Dante, you've got 30 seconds left, and then you'll have tried my patience sufficiently. See, I just don't get this. Can you explain this to me? Why people have this crazy idea that, first of all, that $99 is important. $99 barely pays my Kleenex bill. And as we know for Linda's hair roots, I mean, my God, she could only get half the roots done for $99. Let's be serious. We need money to live our lives. Dante has had no money for 9 out of 10 years by his self-admission. Well, anyway, the offer's dead. I'm not going to carry on with this foolery. Dante, you made the biggest mistake of your life. I want you to go to the free program at the top of the page. It's you want to go to turn right, and you're going to see some words that say, for those that did not upgrade, that's you. Well, it's too late now. You live in the doghouse as far as I'm concerned. You turned down our offer. It's worth $20,000. I'm not going to make it again. I don't know. I think I'm going to write a book about teams. The teams of people we all require to be our... it was Gloria Steinem who said, every woman needs a wife. Every man needs a husband. I mean, the bottom line is we need these people to live our lives. Don't you think, Tanya? Think of all the people that do things for you who are part of your overall universe.
We need one another. That's the meaning we are in the planet.
Absolutely. And this crazy idea that you can make money on the internet alone, you can't. You can't. If that were true, believe me, I would have done it. My whole life has been spent finding the right people for the task at hand. That's like 99% of my life. Yes, it is. And also I defer to these people in their area of expertise. I don't defer to Mr. Joseph on world affairs, but when it comes to having the steak done in the right way, I defer. I defer. Okay, so Dante, we're sorry. We were sorry, and truly, sincerely, we're sorry that you didn't work with us, because you were the ultimate loser, and that's a fact. All right, Dante goes to the free program. We go on. I want to go back before we do some shout-outs. I'm going to let Tanya pick up. I want to play one of my marches here. And I want to talk about video marketing, which is the thing I love so much. Now, if without throwing yourself off the camera, everybody can click on this link, I want to talk about impact. I want to talk about the building of your business via video. I want you to think about this. I have selected over 200 fanfares and marches that give me just the right nuance. And I use them constantly. I use them when I come up in the morning. It's often 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm 67 years old. I'm not a morning person. And so I play something like this, Conquista. This is the sound that accompanied the establishment of New Spain, which was one of the epochal events of our entire civilization. The conquering of New Spain was a big deal, a very big deal. And the Spaniards got 1/6 of the territory of the earth. Not a bad deal, for a few beads and a couple of... And we got the fanfare. I can't quite figure out what the difference between a good march and a good fanfare is. I'm sure some musicologists can tell me, but I don't see any. So I want you to listen to this. I want you to think of what kind of program would this encompass. You know, before you came on the air, this would be your theme song. Everyone needs a theme song. And this one makes you want to wave and connect with people. Where you can see the conquistadores, you can see the horses and the padres, the flag of New Spain. Oh, God, it's all there, and I love it. People love ceremonies, Sonia. And I want you to have a ceremonial tune for your theme song. Don't you feel? You feel in that drum beat that they're marching to victory. That's the way you want your people to feel when you're talking to them. The same thing. Anyway, I want to thank my mother for telling me this quite possibly apocryphal story. As far as I know, I was not born with this playing on the intercom system. All right. Tanya, do I have a shout out for anybody today? Any particular people you want to talk to?
Well, I want to shout out to everybody that's procrastinating. You know, come here and cannot make up your mind. It's about time for you to step in and do the business, folks. You are wasting time. We are making money. We are making history here in Worldprofit. So come on, get out of your comfort zone and let's do it.
You know, I have to say, too, that one of the reasons I'm writing this, I call it the essay right now, is because the bigger if you use media, in this case the internet media, you're going to increase impact. What began as a gleam in my eye when I was a kid is now a major collection and a major experience, and I'm turning it into an experience. And you know who taught me that? Mrs. Patricia Nixon, who, for those of you that know her, was the salt of the earth. Her name was Pat Ryan. She was Irish. She married Richard Nixon. It was a love match. And ironically enough, they had the relationship of, I think, love and affection, unlike the Kennedy relationship, which was very much more complicated. Whoa, way more complicated than the Nixons. Mrs. Nixon said that she had to remind herself every morning when she was in the White House, and she often visited the White House after her husband was elected to the House of Representatives in 1947. She went to the White House all the time, then he became the vice president, and then the president. She said she had to remember that it was the 400th visit for her, and the first and only visit for Tanya Vick. So she had to remind herself, when she came down the sweeping staircase, to give it her all. If she had a headache, if she had pneumonia, whatever the thing was, it didn't count. What counted was that impression. And I absolutely agree with that. You want to choose some music that is representative of you and has the impact that you want and summarizes your case. Well, it's one of the many, many subjects we go into in the video training class. You wouldn't believe how detailed and nuanced. So for those of you who understand that video is the way to make money, stay home. Tanya's home. I'm home. We are home here. We're comfortable. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be. We don't want to go out. How many of you want to go out of the rush hour is about to start in an hour. Rush hour on a Friday in Boston? You must be part of the friggin' mind if you want to do that. The subways are packed. People are crazy. It's a Friday afternoon. See, whatever complaint you have about North Carolina, you do not have to go into rush hour in the city of Boston on a Friday afternoon. I mean, it's an experience that should be avoided whenever possible. I teach you how to use video marketing to get out of that rat race. Music is a part. You're learning today how even the Windsors recognized that they needed a sound. Queen Victoria didn't have a sound. Edward VII didn't have a sound. But as media became important, which, by the way, was in about... Queen Victoria did the first record for the royal family. And it's of her just offering readings to the empire. And she understood the importance, but she didn't have any advisors. Nobody around her understood how this stuff worked. And they didn't really understand it until the 1920s. And the Prince of Wales, of course, Edward, who became Edward VIII, was the link that connected these all. Anyway, I'm sure there's another article or two in this. My shout out today is to those of you who have lost money on the net. And I wondered that how could you have fallen for so many scams? I mean, scammers are easy to detect. There's a story about a young girl and a snake. The young girl sees a wounded snake in the street, and the snake persuades her to take it home.
Very interesting analogy here.
Plummets by people getting screwed every single day. I mean, you have to put aside your brain capacity to allow yourself to be persuaded. I don't persuade anyone. I state facts, and these are the facts. Deal with them. I don't persuade. I don't sit up and say, you better off. Nope. And here are the facts. If you want to implement the facts, fine. So my shout out is to those of you that have lost money on the net. If you have, you come in with us. I'm going to help you, or all the monitors are going to help you get the money back. Now, by that, I want to be very clear what I mean. I'm not talking about getting back the money and going over to Albania and recapturing your money. That money is long gone. I'm telling you about if you're $6,000 in debt right now, we'll show you exactly how to cover that debt so that you recover that money. Tanya, do you want to have any comment about that? That's one of the marvelous things we can do around here.
Oh, yes. I made my money here, folks. I lost it. So much money out there in broken promises. So come over here. Make money with us. I'm going to help you.
And by the way, again, I want to point out that you all also get a free copy of my book, Net Profits. And what's funny about net profits is I'm always amazed by the kind of response that my books get. I mean, I've been through this, this is my 19th time. People are afraid to bring that book to my attention because they know I'm going to say, are you ready to implement it? I mean, it's not to be read like a comic strip. I mean, it is a guidebook to making money. And lots and lots of people get it. And they sort of creep up and tell me, I'm reading it. I've read it. And then, but what, are you going to implement it? Are you just going to read it? It's not about reading it, folks. It's about implementing it and making the money. How many of you want to read a book? Most adults hate reading. They've hated it since they were in 3rd grade. I happen to like it, but the bottom line is this. How many of you are really want to make money, and if I shove that book in your hand, you read it? I'm waiting for this, like 78 people out there on the other side of the glass. They're afraid to tell me it's good because that means, okay, it's good, great, implement. Come on and implement. Anybody want to comment on that?
We need to get the book and really read it, and because it's a wake-up call, for all of you that
well,
need.
I decided that George, needed to, more glory, and so I brushed up, took on my glory, rough buffer and buff buff. I wanted people to know what he's up to, because he is a guy that, first of all, he's a captain in the Canadian Air Force. You got to understand what that means. I'm not sure that I understand everything, but I understand part of it. When you're a captain in the Air Force, you're entrusted with this multi-$100 million thing called a plane. And a couple of mistakes, you're toast. And the Canadian government, this is not the way this is the way a civilian would explain it to me. Canadian government entrusts this big, expensive thing to you, and for a while you're in total control of this thing. What they want is people who can come up with good ideas, organize efficiency, and run them. That's George. That's what he does. These people that, like Helen, who are not members of us yet, I often wonder, how do they think the tasks are going to be accomplished? 99% of the population is technologically inept like I am. I've never made any bones about that. I've never made any bones about that my tests are for technical dexterity are at the 5th percentile. That means newly born monkeys can do more than I can do. My father used to think this was hysterically funny. And one of the problems that I have is that I'm missing, there's a little thing in your brain somewhere that enables you to detect, that does left and right, and that does spatial relationships. Remember hypotenuses and the sum of the triangle is equal to lower? I couldn't see them. In geometry, they'd say, what do you see? I see nothing. I see a bunch of dots on a page. And they went, nope, that's the wrong answer. And this is the 50s, so nobody knew how to behave about those things anyway. George is an expert on making things happen. Helen Atkinson conceivably could be, but she isn't. She's part of the 99% of the population that is not technologically adept and is therefore not going to make any money on the net. If you can't do it yourself, and you can't, then you're going to have people who can do it for you, which we do. And in a nutshell, that's our whole case. Helen Atkinson, please come down and say hi. Connie, I'm going to ask Patrice to come up for some commentary.
Hey, Dr. Lynn.
And I want to thank you as always. It's always fun to be around you. You're a wicked lady. We can't get together too often because we'll just laugh too much.
Thank you very much. You have a terrific day. Success to all. Bye now.
That is Tanya Vick down there in North Carolina now. She came from Florida and ultimately from Brazil. She's a very cosmopolitan lady.
Very, very much so. And that was another wonderful program, Dr. Lant, and very inspiring. And I love that music. It just gives you that boost, to bring you forth. And it got me thinking.
See, when you walk on stage with that music preceding you, you're going to look like $1,000,000. The audience is going to go bananas. And
I should have played it before I came up here.
Hey? Place where you need to be.
I should have played it before I came up on stage. What was I thinking up here? But it got me thinking.
Well, with all due respect to myself, you would have thought that I would have figured out very early on about the Windsor sound. But after studying the monarchy for so many years and publishing books and articles, nobody said the monarchy needs a sound. And yet we have all heard, without even thinking about it, the sound.
Yeah. You're just
so one of the things about video marketing is to have a sound.
Accustomed to that background sound, like in the movies and everything. It's what plays with your emotions and
it precisely
moves you. It's part of what moves you, and definitely a part of video marketing to move the people. And I always enjoy the music that you put in with your different articles, and it definitely adds a different dimension there. All the different tunes and.
It's just funny, Patrice. How many article writers are there on the internet? About 1 million. And how many put music with their articles? As far as I know, one. I have never seen an article or a blog that put a relevant song or tune or opera or whatever it is into their thing to increase the impact, increase the outreach, increase the impact. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it definitely adds another dimension, and that's the great thing here with the video marketing here with you, that you teach us about all those different dimensions that we can add and to improve ourselves and help us to better get a presence online. And that's what it's all about, is connecting with people. And we're able to do that worldwide here at Worldprofit and develop international businesses. And it's a wonderful tool to have with the video marketing and that. And I'm looking forward to the video marketing course on 1 p.m. on Saturday, tomorrow. So if the members there, join in so you can...
1 p.m. Anything goes, 2 p.m.
The video marketing course. So all the people looking in, make sure you join up so you can take part.
And as usual, we're going to be on the cutting edge. We do the fundamentals, but we also do the high-flying stuff.
and it's wonderful. So make sure you sign up there, and so you can take part. And with that, I'm going to say my adieus till tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Anything Goes program. Well, actually, I'll be back here at 3 p.m. Eastern for a little shift on monitor here. So bye for now.
Having a little problem with the time, huh?
Yeah.
She will be up this afternoon in a sequence that we will involve. First of all, me with Leah Watson, then I think Patrice follows after us, and then Linda Elsie follows that, and then I think we have an hour available. And anyway, before I go off, I want to remind everyone of the famous words of Mr. Cole Porter. In olden days, a glint of stocking was looked upon as something shocking. Now, God knows anything goes. That's certainly true here at Worldprofit. We've been doing this program for a long time. I want to thank Tanya Vick for coming up, and as always, Patrice Porter for her expertise and keeping me focused. And again, I want to thank everyone for your indulgence this week. For some reason, this anniversary of my 44th Harvard commencement took a special, I don't know, 44 doesn't tend to be an age that, but 44 years after my mind. Well, we won't go into that. Thank you, everybody. This is Dr. Lant signing off. Leah Watson and I will be up momentarily to do some training.